To me, ground means a lot in the way that it's a place of where things start to exist and don't exist. It's something that is ever present, but it's not something we think or talk about all that much. It's like a very super ageless thing against our impermanence, and but it's also at the same time a place of beginnings and possibilities. I like the neutrality of black, and I wanted to distill emotions down to a single color. And when I think about memory, history, and or past stories passed down through the generation, there's an element of kind of documenting that happens naturally in my mind, and almost like film in some ways, which has some kind of influence in my work as a sublayer. And so black has that sort of tonality to it, but I also wanted to explore black as a challenge, a creative challenge, to see what I could do and how much I could get out of it with just a single pigment color. And so with that, actually, it afforded me a ton of possibilities on texture, tonalities, different ways of mark making and expression, dry and wet mediums. So that was really fun to also explore at the same time, which is a divergence from my very colorful work in general. Red came quite a bit later, and it wasn't until that I took a long overdue trip to China this year that I noticed and also was reminded, almost dumbfounded by something, which is the act of sewing in my family is ever present all throughout my life. It connects me with all the women in my life and also my family. And also a lot of stories and memories, both sad, happy, and funny, and also a ton of gossip were passed down through these moments of mending. That's when I realized a long time ago I wanted to involve some kind of thread work and sewing into my paintings, but I never felt right until the trip had happened, and it took me on a journey of paying homage to an aspect of family story and lineage. So the color red means a lot in that to me it means desire, violence, pain, sacrifice, and scar. It's always interesting to go there because it's such a different world to where I live now, and it's almost like an alternate reality. There's just so many layers, new on top of old, on top of new, and every time I go it kind of hits differently. And then when I come back to my studio in Oakland, inevitably that feeling gets carried through back into the work, and it's a little bit of a mystery still. The scroll format has been used traditionally as a way to convey narrative or convey stories in a painting. Then the fan shape is a ubiquitous shape that is very much ever present in popular culture these days, and it's so much so that it's kind of seen as a minor decorative art. There's a certain kind of expectations applied to it, and so I wanted to, it's a provocation, and I wanted to explore what plot twist I could add to the predictability of it to change that expectation on the viewer.